Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Mason and you are plugged into the Wine Outlet. And, well, not at the office anymore. And I really wanted to talk to you about the main courses for Thanksgiving, the entrees. And there are a few ways to split it up. I do it this way. Turkey, stuffing, and if anybody's a vegetarian or a vegan, tofurky. So tofurky, if you take a look, I actually wrote about this in our blog. So take a look down below for the link. Click on that link, and it's going to take you about my thoughts about tofurky. I'll just ruin some of that by saying Bordeaux, I think, is really good with tofurky, as long as the tofu isn't too dry. If you have a little bit of a more moist tofu, you should be fine, and Bordeaux is going to work out really well. For stuffing, I will say that it depends on what kind of stuffing you have. There's people that use raisins in their stuffing, and there are people that use sausage in their stuffing. Some people mix them up, but primarily for raisins, I'm going to recommend an Amarone or a Valpolicella. Either way, that are going to go incredibly well. Amarone, it's done under what's called a ripasso method, and they let the grapes dry, much like raisins. Not to that extent, but they do let it dry. So when they go to crush these somewhat dried out grapes, it produces a more rich, dense, full taste that really complements. It's a beautiful, beautiful red. And whether you have it for Thanksgiving or any other time, if you're ever curious, if you're on the fence about whether you should have it or not, have it. It's a no-brainer. Also, I will recommend for that and for other wines, Amarone, you kind of want to decant. It's going to take a while for it to open up, especially if it's new. And by new, I mean within the past 7 years. It's going to take a while, so I do recommend decanting in a large decanter. The reason for that is that there's more surface area in a larger decanter, so those big new muscular wines can oxygenate fast enough for the wine to open up. Imagine like you're cooking a risotto. You always cook up the rice, heat it up by itself before you add stock or anything like that, so it's more likely to open up and absorb. You want these newer wines, Amarone, big cabs, anything like that, you want that to absorb more air. Going the other way for things with age, Bordeaux, Napa cabs, things like that, you want to use a small decanter. So that way less oxygen comes in contact with the wine, but it still opens up. So whereas I would suggest opening or decanting a new wine or Amarone 7 years or younger for roughly about a day, a half a day. Older wines, I'll recommend opening up and let it breathe for 1 to 2 hours at the most. Like I said, more information, go down to the website listed below, and you can read from my blog on this. And let's just get right to it. I talked about the Amarone for a raisiny kind of stuffing or stuffing with raisins. What if you have sausage? What if you want spice with something like that? Well, I would like to show off this wine right here. This is the 2018 Venghi Vineyard Scout Honor. This is a blend of Zinfandel, Charbonneau, Petit Syrah, and Syrah. And this comes to you from Napa Valley. And this is in Calistoga, where Kurt Venghi, the winemaker, is in charge of all winemaking operations. And it's kind of an amazing story. Scout's Honor is actually an homage. When Kurt and the family first opened their vineyards, he took it over from his father, and he went off on his own way. He had a dog, a beautiful yellow Labrador retriever named Scout. And Scout was so nice, as I think all dogs are and retrievers are. So nice, he would go out to greet everybody who drove up to the winery. He would just come out there. He was labeled as the official greeter for Venghi Vineyards, and it was great. He would come up. They labeled him as selling more wine than anybody else, and he was just like in my opinion, like all dogs, so pleasant to be around. As time went on, as it happens, and Scout passed, and Kurt and the family wanted to make something that was up to the standards that would represent Scout in a good way. So when they came across it, they had this and they named it in Scout's honor. So this is a full-bodied style red wine that I do recommend, that if you have a stuffing with sausage in it, or even for the bird itself, either white meat or dark meat, this is going to be a great wine. Just to let you know, I opened this wine about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. So don't go as far as decanting this. It's big, but it's not, you know, blockbuster big. But I did that, so let's give it a try here. So like I said, this is a Zinfandel-based blend. It's about 61% Zinfandel, and the rest of the players fill in the rest of it. Charbonneau, not a widely known grape in the wine world, let alone in California, and a little bit of Petit Syrah to give it some power, and some Syrah for some elegance. So let's give it a try. Full, beautiful aromatics. It's got the oak you can tell right off the nose, literally right off the nose. It also has a heavy blackberry currant kind of nose to it. It's just inviting you in to enjoy. And just off the nose alone, well, let me try it first. This is an amazing example of what a big California wine can be. It's not just chock full of fruit. It's not going to beat you over the head with oak. It has an oak on it, but it doesn't overdo it. It's well balanced for California, and it's big in body, but medium body in tannins. So, you know, this is a 2018. I would recommend drinking this, the drinking window, probably within about 5 years of drinking this. It'll probably develop some secondary flavors after 5 years, but it seems to me the way this wine is made is that you really want to enjoy it early. It has a really early release in terms of when it made it to market, and it's nonetheless a beautiful wine. It's big, it's powerful, doesn't overdo it, but it's great. I would easily recommend this for any sausage-based dish, let alone stuffing, and for turkey, especially for dark meat, I think, on this. So, that having been said, there are a couple other wines that I recommend. If you read the blog, I put it in there, and it'll be things like Rivers Marie. This is the second video in a row I'm mentioning Thomas Rivers Brown's wines, but he makes an incredible explosive Pinot Noir. It's a Silver Eagle vineyard out of Sonoma Coast, and it's big. This is something that is built to last the test of time. This will age easily 7 to 10 years if you're that patient. I know I'm not, but if you're that patient, this will definitely, you know, pay off in spades down the road with secondary, tertiary flavors that bring more mushroom, truffle, that kind of a return on it. So the other wine is from Heidi Barrett. If you don't know Heidi, I'm not saying that I do. If you don't know Heidi, though, she is one of the geniuses behind the label Screaming Eagle. Screaming Eagle is a legendary wine out of Napa. It is a Cabernet Sauvignon that retails, I don't even know what the price is anymore. I think it was around $1,500 at one point. Anyway, Heidi does what she can around Napa Valley, and she makes the wine for Lambourne Family Vineyards. And she does one Zinfandel there called the Happy Dirt, which is a great little name. And the wine is just out of this world good. She makes she's an amazing winemaker, and I'm so happy that we carry her wine in some form. So I would absolutely recommend that. It has spice, it's medium bodied, it's got power. That's another, must have for the Thanksgiving Day table if you don't get something like Scout's Honor. So that's going to be all for now. I hope you have a safe and an enjoyable Thanksgiving. Enjoy the football, enjoy the family, enjoy staying safe, because we all have to. So yeah, happy Thanksgiving. And you were just plugged in to the Wine Outlet.